So we have a special obligation. We cannot let what happened here be lost in the silence of the years to come. We must remember it, must honor it, and live it. And we must remember the fact that they were heroes here that day.
He also did tie in Ukraine as one of the threads. You wrote a very thoughtful blog on your website where you talked about these men that knew if they failed, the rights and freedoms that made America the greatest country may not survive another generation. I feel like that is the message that people need to hear, not so much about exactly what Biden was calling into. But your take?
Just on the anniversary of D-Day, remember those men that served, that knew they were headed into almost certainty of giving their life. Not it was just a chance, but this was a near certainty that they were going to give it, and they did it anyways. That's the courage that America has always stood for. And you juxtapose that to the pretender-in-chief that we have. He's going to pretend to come and memorialize those that served on D-Day, but he's going to make it a speech about the way that he's taking away democracy. In fact, he's going to make it a speech about securing Ukraine instead of just focusing on those that fought, those that died, those that served, those that are still alive, and those that inspire new Americans, young Americans, to come behind them and be a part of serving this great nation. Couldn't have just made it about that, what this day should be about.
No, we know military recruitment is down in lieu of, really the way we treat our veterans. And you know that is just shameful how they come out. They need support, yet it seems like illegal migrants get better treatment in some of these places than our veterans who are on the street. He also didn't mention anything about Israel. That was one note that we had in our last hour as we sort of dissected the tone of this. I know personally, Congressman Mast, you co-authored a bill imposing sanctions for the ICC, recommending those war crimes against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Obviously, it has no authority, but there's been a lot of questions about why some would actually, including places like other countries, saying, yes, if he enters our soil, we'll arrest Netanyahu under these circumstances while Israel is trying to eradicate terrorists.
Yeah, you look at the situation, and the Biden administration has come out and said already they will veto a bill that would sanction those members of the ICC, anybody part of the criminal court that comes after our major allies like Netanyahu or others. It's not just Israel, and it's him not standing by our allies. It's him not showing strength on behalf of the American people and the American allies. It's him siding with a non-ally, a globalist entity against the American people and our allies. And this is what we see again and again. And I'll use that term again. He's a pretender-in-chief. He's masquerading, dressing up as president, but never really fulfilling the role of what the United States of America deserves.
There was a pretty scathing article in the Wall Street Journal yesterday, reports of how he is slipping. Even Democrats were quoted talking about behind closed door meetings. And, some on the big liberal media are trying to do gymnastics to try to walk back that reporting. But he is obviously, many say, suffering from cognitive issues, and it's not going unnoticed now. Your thoughts on, Joe Biden and that damaging article there? That was a bipartisan article.
I would tell the American people, believe what you see, believe what is directly in front of you. Don't take the Democrat talking point of believe what we tell you and not what you see with your own eyes in whatever the circumstances. You see the decline of Joe Biden. You see the decisions that he's making, whether it be with Israel and Gaza, whether it be the U.S. southern border, whether it be with the International Criminal Court, with inflation. Take your pick of issues. You see his inability to speak on the issues, how he deals with foreign dignitaries, foreign governments. This is not a person fulfilling the role of commander-in-chief or president of the United States of America, and has not done so for 3 years.
Well, I am grateful for your time today and your comments about the heroes alive and those who have passed today on those beaches of Normandy, that we honor and focus on them today. Congressman Brian Mast, good to have you in today.
Thank you.
Thank you.